When in doubt, check your fucking connections. She was about to flop a boob out. You missed it.
Oh, I was about to.
Here it is. What do you know?
Just to say I won't.
Get your ass to Mars.
Fighting with
Mission.
wardrobe.
Wait. 15,
Counting?
14, 13.
What I'll tell you.
Circa
11.
I am the J-Tech. Gotta have time to masturbate.
Well, I think it kind of speaks for itself. He just goes completely anti-science. I pay money for naughty favors.
Where's that mushroom toy?
You're a cunt now.
Still
You've
don't
always
know.
been a cunt.
I guess he's not being charged for hollering at them about masturbation and
And
threats.
the only thing that's going to change is you're going to become an even bigger cunt.
When I have ideas, I just write them down.
And it's a sick world that we live in, where Disney cartoons like
Get the full
Monsters,
Monty.
Inc. make a movie star out of a talking green testicle.
There's more.
That Terminator is out there. It can't be
It goes
bargained
on
with.
and on.
It can't be reasoned with.
No, I
It
don't feel
doesn't
pity or remorse. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Lab. I am Doji Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker.
All right. Prediction times.
Yes.
She made one yesterday on the fly.
Yeah, and then a friend of mine sort of took it up of his own accord also. So I must be onto something.
You must.
He hadn't even watched our show. I predicted
He's behind the times.
I predicted the next COVID panacea would be shit on a piece of pickled ginger.
So that's what I was thinking. Like, could you make a prediction? Like, I predict there's going to be a natural disaster. Does that include COVID?
That sounds like a natural disaster to me,
There
but you
go.
can't
I
really
predict that COVID will be a disaster this year.
But how you can't insure against
It's
that. I mean,
already
you can get
happened.
flood insurance, you can get fire insurance. Well,
Mm.
in
You
theory,
could get COVID insurance.
you can't get COVID insurance.
No,
You
that'll
can
be
get
fun.
vaccinations, but if you get COVID and you lose your job, you're screwed until
Until the music stops.
well until the government can agree on a relief package.
Uh,
Package.
She said package. Okay. For instances, random thoughts that pop into my head that are things like, so if you're dating a girl, you're a dude, obviously, and you meet her mom and she's really hot, and then you sleep with her, which happens. See it on Florida Man all the time. By the way, Statesman coming later.
Mhm.
Do you try the same moves on her mom that you do?
Well, who have you banged first? Are you're
I haven't actually
Okay.
personally had that experience. I've been very close. Many.
I know somebody who
But-
had a three-way with
I was only 12.
his
so-
girlfriend and her mom, which is really kind of disturbing to me, actually. But wait, 12?
Buffering.
Okay, so in this hypothetical, have you already had sex with the girl
Yes,
who's
of
your
course,
age?
of course.
Okay, so you
Because that could be the only way that it goes. Because if you're like, say you're 25 and the mom's 55.
But what
So-
if
so-
you're taking it slow with the girl and it's like during the AIDS period when people were a little shy
That's
about
a hell
that
of
sort
a
of
for
thing?
instance you threw right in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of happened.
This is a hypothetical unless you watch porn.
Someday I'll tell you about my first porn.
I was just wondering, you date the mom first?
Do you use the same moves that you use on the daughter?
If that has happened to you, you should ask your friends.
What would you do personally? What would you let the situation
No,
dictate what you did,
If
or
it was
would
the
you?
daughter first and then the mom, I would completely let the freak flag fly, because you don't know when that might never happen again. You probably just ruined like the whole thing.
Can you
Like,
explain to me
this
what you
might
mean?
only happen like one time.
What do you
Well,
mean by letting the freak flag fly? Let her take
because-
control?
Well, either way, or just like be like, oh, this woman's experienced, and then just have at her like a fucking.
Oh, okay.
pinata.
Okay. Right. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Hit her with your bat.
Pull out the cat o' nine tails.
I don't know why I thought that. Well, I was thinking about that, but it just was this idea that I have for, like, for instances, if you've got anything like that. These are just dumb ideas I think of. That's why this is the first segment.
Right.
because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's disjointed and it's totally random, but it's kind of how conversations go, right?
Yes,
At least
it
our
is.
conversations.
What? So that was like led to Deadpool, reverse Deadpool that I had thought of. So we're gonna start coming up with people that you probably have forgotten about. So
I just thought of
You're
one,
gonna have to guess.
whether they're dead or alive.
whether-
Okay, so I have one that I
This
don't.
came from Bob Barker. We talked about.
Yeah, he thought Bob Barker was still alive, and I thought he
No,
was
I
dead.
thought, is he dead? I didn't know.
I thought you thought he was still alive. No, I knew he was dead. Okay, so here's somebody who he's probably dead, but I can't confirm until I look it up.
Okay.
Ed Koch.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with dead too, but
What are
I
you guys
don't.
gonna go with?
I don't remember a headline.
So Ed Koch.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't look it up, cheaters.
I mean, he could be like 107.
So yeah, you got to guess. These are other ideas that I have. Masterpiece Theater is older than me. What's
How old is when did that start?
70 or something? 1971. Learned that today.
I have a
What are you all-
plate that I made in preschool,
Uh-huh.
and it's got a drawing, like a stick drawing with circles of a cat, and it says Susie at the top, and it says 6/17/1971.
She's old. What do you want?
I still have it.
Thought I'd bring some class to the show.
Some vintage. By the way,
So
I don't
what's
know if this
older-
is vintage, but I've got Venus flytraps all over me. I like
She's fine.
carnivorous
This is an
plants.
excuse to Justice saying she's been fighting with it since before the show started.
Yeah, it kept falling off. And it got me thinking, if a boob were to fly out during the show, how long would it take YouTube?
To spot the titty.
Yeah. How long do you think it would take? How many hits do you think we'd get
This
before
first-
YouTube figured out
This
that there
first
was
segment is full of great ideas.
All right, you guys, take some notes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I would-
as
I-
opposed to a dick. If
I
you-
would agree that it would be 13.8 milliseconds.
But how many people do you think
Your
would
ping
see
rate
it?
is slow.
And what about a dick? Do you think a dick it would be faster to identify a dick in their algorithm than a titty?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you'd have a whole team of nerds.
You go, okay, can we isolate it?
I wonder if it's like they have like a junk. It's like the program line for that is junk exe. It just looks for junk.
Hooter
Junk click.
exe.
There's not enough There's not enough pictures of dicks in the world.
What if you just like flashed your tit, like just like for a half a second, just like,
I don't know.
do you think they'd notice?
Me, no. You maybe.
Me what?
If they might notice. Their algorithm would be like titty.
For like
That's
half
what
a
it
second.
is. It's titty.
Titty.
Come on titty exe. It's junk exe. These are in your program files. If you go.
How long do you think a dick could be on screen? I mean, you could almost do subliminal dick like they do in Fight Club at the
Well,
end.
if you're Cucker Charleston, it could be an entire year.
Oh my God, yeah, and you could be on a major news network.
And if you're Kavanaugh, even worse.
I guess if you have a lot of money, you can pretty much put anything out there.
Well, I was going to play this for this next thing, but you know me and finding stuff. I can't find.
He's the anti-finding stuff.
Yes, I am. What else you got?
I just thought hot for teacher. That just came into my mind. Did you ever have a teacher that you were really hot for?
Not one that was hot for, but she was pretty good looking. Aside from the mustache, she was dope. She was like 6 feet tall. Miss Bassage, or as we referred to her, Miss Ballsage.
Miss, what was it? Passage?
Bassage.
Bassage. Okay. Miss
incredibly.
Batshit.
Hey, she was a math teacher. What do you want? She was tall, good looking, except for the mustache. She bleached that sucker.
She was tall except for the mustache.
Yeah, except for the mustache.
You mean she was hot?
By
except
the
for
way, you
mustache.
listened to us talk about pissing on people for 15 minutes, and it was pointed out. Did we talk? Dr. Z pointed out. She said, "Pissing on people for 15 minutes like, straight." I was like, I just had that thing pop into my head where it's just how many people would it take to piss on somebody for 15 minutes? Guarantee they'd be free of the COVID, apparently, if you listen to yesterday's show.
You mean it's COVIDiots, anti-vaxxers, right?
No. It was piss breath and the golden guzzlers. That joke's never going to
You're right. I know. I was belly laughing over that, but I don't know.
It was
Maybe
just the way she looked at me. She said, "You talked about pissing on people for 15 minutes."
if there were people like me, you could serve them like a heavily caffeinated beverage, and I'd drink like a half a cup of it.
She doesn't
and-
like where the conversation's going.
There could be 4 of us,
Right.
and one would start peeing, and then when they're done, they go to the back of the line, and the next one comes up and pees, and by the time the 4th person's done,
You're
the
Miss
first
Parker.
person is back up again to pee. So that could go on. I mean, as long as the caffeinated beverage just keeps coming.
All right. That sums up.
So now you learned something today.
People out there want to give you vaccines, or they want you to not take the vaccine, and they want you to pee on you. And then there are your Glenn Becks, and then there are your Tucker Carlsons.
Look at his mouth.
It just look like he's ready.
That's like the full teaching load.
He's ready for it.
Totally. He's ready for a full load.
If you saw what we were looking at.
Oh, we need a back screen so bad.
Yeah, he's gonna,
You got to look at what we're looking
well,
at.
wait, the headline made me laugh and think of this immediately. So we'll talk
Yeah.
about that.
So the cuck is trying to cuck.
He's back.
He's trying to cuck a rapist,
Yeah,
actually.
we'll get to him in a minute.
In a minute.
When was the last time you back in the day when, obviously before cell phone? We're having a technical difficulty with the associate producer, apparently.
She's a little colicky today.
She is, for some reason. So, look, I was thinking about Francis,
Mhm.
and because everybody be talking about people dying this year of COVID. Some people.
Oh, God.
Jesus effing Christ, come here. Come here. I'll give you a treat. Give you a treat.
Give you something to cry about.
Give you a fucking treat.
Now that we're talking to her, she's not crying anymore. She just wants to be looked at.
Train her to look at an on-air sign.
Come here, Nibbles.
Come on.
Get your butt over here.
She has been on a walk. She's. What? You don't like? Oh, now you're gonna quiet up. Okay.
Okay, so what were you
I was
saying?
talking about I was thinking about Francis, and we had home phone. I pick up home phone. I'm like, hello. And this dude is like rambling on about all this shit because he thinks he's talking to Francis
This happened to you?
many times.
How
Apparently
recently?
I said hello.
Oh, was this
Apparently-
when you were living at home?
Yeah. I was like 17. They're like, hey, Francis. And then they would just like bolt into this conversation, sometimes about some crazy shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck is this? But, the butt dial. But have you ever butt dialed somebody and just like been like, hey, and you're talking to the wrong person?
I've never done that, but my brother has
There's-
butt dialed me. I was in Germany once, and my brother butt dialed me in the middle of the night, and there's like 30 minutes of him just asking his wife what he's supposed to do next. Oh, you want me to blah, 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 blah? Oh, hey, you want me to? It was just this long, mundane thing. And I'm freaked out because there's a call from my brother. My dad's sick at this point in time. And I see that there's a call from him in the middle of the night. So I'm freaked out. But it's just this long voicemail.
Well, we're looking here for more funny than her.
It was funny.
Then you're tragic.
It was pretty
story.
funny. No, this was not tragic at this particular point in time. But tragedy can be fucking hilarious.
I've received phone calls, and then I got but this is like when phones were fresh too, still flip phones.
Hmm.
Motherfucker, these two motherfuckers call me up and they're like, "Hey man, could you do this for us?" Oh, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, man, I got you." I'm at home like fixing the VCR and shit.
That's a
These are
really
my
old
room-
sentence right
These are
there.
my roommates in when I first moved to Colorado Springs. Phone hangs up. Phone rings back. Pick up phone. These motherfuckers are talking mad shit about me. It was funny mad shit, you know? But it was like, you fuckers, right?
You knew these guys?
Oh, they were my roommates.
What were they saying?
Oh, just like just the use like I talk too much and then whatever. But I forgot it because I was laughing so hard. I was like sharing it with the people in the room. These fuckers don't know they're
They're like women. Did you tell them that? You're like seventh
Oh, when they
grade
got
girls.
home, I was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's over there, and remember to fucking check your phone, motherfucker." Like, and they're just like, "Shit, you heard all that?" It's like everybody heard it. Like I just, this is like everybody heard this. They were just being dicks. Like we were in our 20s.
So guys actually talk about each other behind each other's
Yeah.
backs,
Apparently,
like girls.
apparently quite a bit.
I know women do it. You know what guys do?
No,
When you're
but
a
I bet
skinny
you're gonna
girl?
tell me a guy.
Well, you've probably done this.
Oh shit. That's a big fucking list. You
Back-
just pulled down.
Back in the day when I was, I mean, I'm not fat right now,
She
but
was churning butter one day.
yes, I was churning butter in my bonnet one day, and I was very svelte and
A fine Jap showed up,
uh
and he was like, "Come on, titty."
guys,
.exe.
there's no YouTube. Guys would rip on fat chicks in front of me like I was another dude because I was really skinny, and so the assumption was,
You were a cancer patient.
yeah, the assumption was I had some mad eating disorder on purpose, you
Oh,
know.
of course, it was the 60s.
No, it was actually
It's 1860s.
right. It was during Emily Dickinson's
That's
time.
right. There was.
That's why I have such an affinity for that show. But
She's had a long life. The Handmaid's Tale. Now some Emily
that's in the
Dickinson.
future.
It's your past.
That's in the future. That is decidedly future that you're
Also,
talking about
it's
right
in the
there.
past. It's happened before.
Well, yeah, it's just that it re-happened. But let me explain.
Oh,
Guys would rip on fat women to me the way that dudes would with each other. I mean, just as though I was going to hop on and do it too. Like, of course, I have a problem with obese women. Of course, I think they're disgusting because I'm a thin woman.
You're like, "Boy, stop your jaw and get out here. I got butter to churn."
Yeah.
And then they left, and you said, "God, God,
It reminds
the
me-
cream certainly doesn't rise to the top."
It reminds
There's
me
no
of when white guys or white people drop the N-word around me.
Ooh.
And they think that's okay because I'm white too. So it's like, yeah, she gets it. I can say the N-word around her.
So they pin you as a racist?
They pin me as a misogynistic rapist. Racist.
Oh, Freudian. Let's see. Let me tag that. What minute are we at? Yes, we're towards the end. Hey,
Yeah, we are towards the end.
this segment brought to you by Oakcraft CBDs. Jackson Time and Tammy Time are out in Delta, Colorado, and they're constantly working on improving the sustainability of their farms. They care about the environment. They care about climate change. And most of all, they care about you and lube and dog treats. Most of all.
Hopecraft CBDs is more than 11 years in the making. They make tinctures and massage oils and salves and delicious candy in root beer,
Let's see if she can name 'em
peppermint,
all.
cinnamon, berry, citrus, and anise.
I would have thought you would have put them back in alphabetical order
Oh, no.
instead of the order at which you take them. Most of them are oral. The anus flavors. Don't
Butt
do
candy.
it. Don't breathe. Yeah.
Anal gum.
Don't drink your pee. And don't. and take Hopecraft CBDs.
I was saying earlier that the nice thing about when inevitably shit becomes the new COVID remedy, it will cover up the smell of piss breath. So did you ever fat shame a woman to a skinny woman? Did you ever bitch about fat chicks to a skinny woman?
Not when I was taking Hopecraft CBDs. Visit them at hopext.com. That's HOPEXT.com.
That answers my question.
Enter promo code STFUJ for 30% off. No. I like fat chicks. They're fun.
I believe you.
Okay.
Mr. Parker likes fat chicks too.
Fat chicks. I mean, it's whatever.
Just,
Subjugate yourself to your own shit, and I'll deal with my own shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're
Speaking of
hot,
shit.
you're hot, and that's just all there is to it. Fat, skinny, whatever.
Think it's easy to look this good? Not in this world. Don't be a racist or rapist. Wrap that up into a bow tie. Don't be a cuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say wrap that up into a bow tie and slap it on that guy's ugly ass mouth. But upcoming Dick of the Week, we're going to crown.
Mm-hmm.
We're at 10 centimeters, fully effaced,
Yes.
and we're ready to crown.
We're gonna cut the umbilical cord
and free another dick.
on fucking Friday. This is Nothing Yet Live. I'm Dr. Kyle.
I am your Miss Parker.
See you guys in a minute.